You can support the Robdons brand today by visiting our website reasonwithrobdon.com, shop merchandise, and check out the variety of items we have just for you and the family. Positivity. Your support for quality.
Happy shopping!
Hello there. Good afternoon.
Good evening, good night.
Good morning. Welcome to Couples Corner, where we say God is best for you and your
Partner.
And this is a special edition called Pillow Talk.
Pillow Talk. Shout
Pillow
out to the
Talk.
lady and gentleman who are celebrating 22 years.
Chat about 22 years of marriage. Them have one heap of secret for share with us.
They need to come on.
We were going to invite them, and we decided that let them rest this week and chill. We didn't want to, interrupt the 22nd year celebration. So we decided to keep it cool. But we want to wish you, a prosperous, a happy, magnanimous, extranemus, beautifanimous,
Hey, Jesus.
pillow top manimous, anniversary. All right, good evening. Trust that you guys are doing well. All right, and that all things are good. Good evening to you, Shamik. It's good to see you. Big up yourself. If you're just joining us and you haven't yet commented, please go ahead and comment so we can hear you. Lord, look at Lady Andrea Holness. How you doing, Lady Holness? How are you doing?
We missed you today. I thought you were coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But that's another conversation for another corner outside of the Couples Corner. All right, so we are here to talk with you this evening, and what I reason with you. So in the meantime, go ahead, share the program, invite somebody to come, because we're going to talk up the things. We're going to talk up the things. Good evening to you, lady, victoriously living. Welcome to the Couples Corner. Yeah, man. And guess what we'll be talking about this evening? We will be talking about, we want to talk up the things. So if you're joining us, you can look also.
We want to talk up the things.
Just check to see if there's a poll there, because we want to hold a reason.
Is this Lady Patricia Allison?
Yeah, Lady Patricia Allison. Big up yourself and welcome to the corner. Come on inside the corner. So before I tell you what we're going to be talking about, we have to call for the Pillow Talk special. All right. Listen.
Clock into the couples corner. Clock into the couples corner. Everyone, it's time for pillow talk. Pillow talk. Pillow talk. Pillow talk. Pillow talk.
Welcome to Pillow Talk. It's Pillow Talk. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about an interesting topic. I think we have some secret from us. I'm going to find out somebody's secret this evening. All right. So we want to talk about how to manage, how to deal with, and how to handle jealousy in a relationship.
So we
Yeah.
say about
Yeah,
something.
we're gonna do some investigation this evening, people. We're gonna find out because we have a poll running. You guys can look at it in your those of you on YouTube. There's a poll running, and I want to find out this evening who is more likely to be jealous in a relationship. Is it the man or is it the woman?
The man.
Oh, you can tell me. Let me know.
Don't start no trouble. She know you. She come on time.
Listen to me. I just know, say, the woman them always 100% we are more jealous, and we are about to find out
Oh, you
that
prove
this
that.
evening. We can find out. We just don't say you're jealous. Just look for me and tell me say you're not jealous.
See, they're 50-50.
We got 50%. All right. By the poll is running. By the time we're done, we are going to find out what lady poll is about 100% men. Victorious and living. No, you talk truth. You will say the woman them. Well, the survey already said men. No, you got to change.
It's 50-50.
It's 50-50. There's a tie on it. So right now, where I believe that women,
Glory, I go and break the tie.
women,
Yeah, make me break this tie.
I believe that the women are more jealous. We're going to find out this evening. That's what we're going to be talking about. But before we do that, we have to open up with some music and some tune. So, in the meantime, go ahead and invite somebody. Tell them that we're live and that we're over us. And you ask a question. Come on, know if this concept to jealousy. I don't know. Why, if Daniel go too far and gone too far for too long?
Listen, one time. Listen, since you want to talk about secrets, jealousy. The men are more jealous than the women. I went to do the drop off one morning. You were home.
No,
Before we reached back, my phone started to ring.
oh, I don't know, man. No.
It's not concerned.
That is concern.
It's not concerned.
That's me caring, like, she's taking too long.
Man,
It's beyond the
want them to
norm.
stop on the road, don't
No, I want to find out. You are taking longer than normal. Remember, I am your next of kin. I'm the next of kin. If something happens to you, they're gonna call me first, and I have to show that sense of care and concern. That can't be jealous. No, scratch that. Come again.
Listen, if I go anywhere, you start out know before.
Me? No, man. No, me I check. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. We started having this discussion before the program, and my wife wants to make it look like this. No, it's not. It's care. It's concern. It's what amounts to missing you. That's why we are playing this song. So, ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are talking about how to manage jealousy in a relationship. And first thing is that we need to acknowledge and recognize if jealousy in a relationship. So we're gonna try and find out sometimes in my life when I think my wife is jealous, and then she's gonna try to find some time where she thinks me jealous. Admit that mild jealousy. I'm gonna admit that mild one. No, one night.
One night.
And gonna tell me if me not have groans to start feeling like
What are you gonna say?
no, it was about what time was it? It was about 2 a.m. at the morning. Yeah.
Oh, when you say I love you?
All puss friend. Dog friend. Then me hear my wife on phone attack. No. And then you
You're a
can't.
man.
No, you can't hear no more she has said. all you hear, but then you're on the next side of the way. Listen, me did really, me know me did have the Jesus. The Jesus
So you
thing.
listen to my conversation.
No, not really. But me that sleep. So me wake up about 2 o'clock in the morning when dog afraid, was afraid.
Oh,
What gone to bed? Everybody gone to bed.
where was
Right?
I? Was I in the room?
No, you walk in a passageway and you know, I said, hold on, that conversation has sound deep. Yeah. And she sound fully
Immersed.
Yeah, it's like you're in the conversation, you're not just attacking, you're intrigued, you're fascinated, and you're wet.
Somebody never comes to
I say, yeah, I'm going to so. What kind of conversation? I could have called my wife this hours in the morning.
Oh, man, jealousy. That's a big
was
jealousy.
Then no. What? Listen now. Me get up now because I'm thirsty. Me get thirsty. You know, me thirsty. So me realize that people in the kitchen attack. So me need to get some water. Yeah, in the kitchen the water. Like, so I have to go into the water.
Who was I talking to?
I'm on the right. She said, okay, no,
I'm on the right page.
Yeah, man, you're left on the right. No, talk the truth. Listen to me now, ladies. Listen to me. No, me hear the talking and move from passageway down to the kitchen. And me all of a sudden in the night, I think I just get thirsty. The night just gets well hot.
You get dehydrated by that.
Dehydrated. No, man, I have to get hot. It's hot. And so, I go down in the kitchen now, and drink my water. Drink my water. Hey, sweet pea. Hey, Krista, what's up? Listen on the one. After me going in the kitchen now, you tell me if this is right. You tell me if this is right. At the hours of the night. Me said, no, me go in, drink my water, and come out. They palm way back to my bed. Me only. Oh, I love you. Right? I love you. Hear me now. Hear me, sir. Me say me start fix all my glass. I'm never want to. So, me I say, me not even know if you approach that conversation tonight.
You said to me, say, I wish money till I love you.
No,
You said to me.
but that after me I think because them not say it one time, you know, people. Them say it about 3 times, you know, because it's like them I make sure so me hear. So if the first time it go on, I'm gonna think I sleep, me I sleep. The second time register the thing, and then the third time she perfect it, and then she have the little nice soft voice, you know, hear me? Yo, that is sound better than when my wife tell me say she love me. So we start thinking all sort of thing, you know, my brain all spin 10 times, you know, hear me? But then that one, with that woman.
A little piece of that's what you get from me. What a big conversation.
No, man. So me get up and go up on my bed, go lie down back and cover up under my pillow and pull my sheet over my head. But somehow, no man, me couldn't go on my bed. Me couldn't go on my bed trouble. Me have to come back out. And when me come back out, you know, the people and done it say, I love you already, you know. And them depend one next long length of conversation again, you know. So me have to come and just make my voice register. They say, oh.
That's not my
Hear me now. Who that you talk to?
No, you say a witch man that you have to
Yeah, that you talk about which one that you talk about. You love them. But no, me never feel no kind of way like no violence, not feel offended. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I'm telling you, seriously, I do trust my wife. There's no grounds around this. I wasn't even taking it serious. But them kind of word then I was really we are tell you love none of us.
I was talking to my brother. Okay, so please don't nobody not get no ideas. No, I was talking to my little brother. Okay.
Yeah, man. Me say, the way me I go on here, lady faith connection, me just tell her, say, you know, look here, man, not to be a, you know why I tell your brother, say, you love her, you love him better how you tell me. Because that is so nice, and so only have to tell me, say, you love him better. But, yeah.
But what was my statement when you said that? You remember?
No,
You remember?
because it just want.
I said to you that same night, when I say I love you, you answer me back and say,
Oh, so, yes.
that's why it reach.
Well, I know, man. But yes, people, that was Robdon little piece of dilemma. One night, when we did sleep on the wrong side, and we wake up on. And so, even in these cases, we're saying first that is also perfectly fine. What kind of husband would I be to Lena Mepte and 5 o'clock in the morning, from 2 to 5 in the morning, me hear my wife I tell man buff, I tell nice.
And that you know, those things can cause conflict in relationships, though, and that's why it's important to understand your partner.
Absolutely.
And to have that kind of sense of trust and transparency. So if they hear something like that, it's not misunderstood.
Absolutely. But how would you feel to see walk down the road? Let's say I walk down the road, I will spot it and I'll hug them up. I'm just, oh, hi, honey. I'm just gone by my business. That makes sense? Oh, that. Or yeah, tell people to say like you love and like them. And you just slow by us like totally unloved. How that make you feel?
Oh man, that's all right.
Exactly. So you see that's why I say that in every relationship there has to be some form of
it
jealousy.
allows you to make it gives you the sense of feeling like, no, this person really loves me.
Exactly. Because if I just go
we're not talking the crazy no like that.
Yeah, the crazy, exactly. We just go up there and just hug up everybody down the road. And my wife just go about her business and that. See, Robdon, what going on with this? And not even look at me, I have to give a little explanation. Right? And that probably a thing say, oh, you know what I mean? Not important to you. Something would be wrong with that kind of thing. So my thing is sometimes I have to this is why I've said first most times I think jealousy is really a normal emotion. It's a normal reaction to something that you care about, that you feel you feel some form of threat towards. But it can be managed. I think the thing that we need to be focusing on is managed. So, all right, spill my bean, Owen be dangerous. But I like to know if there was a time. But time. All right, tell me this. You look like it is. It look like it is. Nothing about the past. But only the special skill to the tell me what we do.
Hey, Jesus.
Tell me what I need to decide.
Mm,
Oh, let me bring up my microphone. Is that better? Is that better, fake connection? Check, check, test.
I must know that
Check, testing. 1, 2.
she has written them down.
Yeah, yes, lady. People think she write them down because they document everything, you know. I have some secret notes saving at them phone.
Yes,
All right,
yes,
all right, excellent. So, yeah. So my wife say I will for time, so she now go talk. Why we can talk about that one next
yes.
time? Let me talk about one next time. No.
But seriously though, you see, persons struggle with big jealousy. I mean, it's big jealousy, a little
Yeah,
jealousy.
big
The
jealousy.
mile and the extreme.
Oh, yeah, my
So the
life is-
extreme jealousy in relationship, I think it stems from, sometimes person might be struggling with, themselves.
Mm.
So it's like you're not so confident about, probably who you are, in marriage. Sometimes things change, people change, body change, all kind of things. And so they might feel as though their partner may be drifting. So there's a sense of insecurity there. So if they themselves have that insecurity and their partner does not reassure them, then they'll think that their partner will drift elsewhere. So that may be a problem.
Yeah. I also don't think money though that it's not just that. I think sometimes for me personally,
For
I'm
me personally,
yeah, but I think it goes for quite a bit of people as well. I mean, there's no doubt that I trust. There's, I mean, I've never had to double think, wonder if this a woman or that kind of thing. No, but what I know, I do feel um some kind of way. I start feel like say some people are get treated way more special than me.
hey, can I tell you guys something? At one point, when me don't do it, at one point, my parents and I have a very close relationship.
Stop it, guys. Tell my wife.
He
Yeah,
said,
what?
he
Hey,
said,
wait,
don't do it.
wait. Yeah, but your mother just did too close.
And no man, you did really bad. Like,
No, I'm just every minute. Talk, whatever you talk.
my mother and I, my parents and I have a very close relationship. So I would talk to my mom every day. And
Yeah.
this husband of mine, Vex,
Yeah, man, me have
big Vex.
me have to make my voice known, man. Guys, listen, if you go to visit her mom, them always talk 1, 2, 3 hours and a half. It's when them left, them a talk and go. And when them damn my yard, when my yard, she had them every single
When me there, me
minute.
yard.
Yeah, I understand the best friend thing, though, but I don't think I was jealous in terms of that.
You did jealous.
I want some of that
Listen,
attention.
sometimes
there.
you used to vex.
Yeah, because I want some of that attention. Who do vex with the attention?
You
Did you
get
want
jealous
some?
for nothing.
Did you want some of the attention? You just give everybody.
So you never used to get that.
Did you feel like me compete with I mean,
At one point, I felt like I was competing with your devices. So you feel
But-
like you're competing with my parents, and I feel like
Yeah,
I was
but
competing with your
that
devices.
was yeah, you'd have to understand. And I do understand. In my time, in my case, I grew to understand what was happening. You had a very good relationship with your parents at the very onset. I was kind of like, I left home earlier than you never left home yet. So, I mean, at the time, I did not necessarily understand, but I mean, I grew to understand that there was some solid relationship. It would be easy, you know what I mean? But at the time, I was just in that particular and that particular. But yeah, people, you see my wife come out here, come tell people I used, I used, I used. But one thing that we I used um oh sorry.
Are we back?
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, D. Roberts. That's true. So let's take some of the feedback. Yeah, that's what marriage is about. Learning about each other and making the necessary adjustment. And that's a powerful point because many persons see marriage. I mean, you might see us now and say, yeah, I like this couple and I like this. But yeah, we did have quite a bit of our rough edges that we had to keep learning, adjusting and taking
Them say if we
steps
start over back.
to correct.
But we don't know. What was the last thing you heard? Because you don't know.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying, that in marriages, yeah, it's normal, it's perfectly normal. I can tell you that. I mean, if if I was to put on my nice up clothes and go out someplace, and my wife not even bothered by my actions or what I do, and I'm not talking about extreme now, because we're not extreme. We have grown. And I don't think we're ever extreme, anyways. But I think I think if I was to ever do that, I would feel some kind of way. If my wife not feel some kind of way because me I do or I give certain amount of attention to other things without showing that sense of respect and thing, and I feel some kind of way. Obviously, she must have one ex man or somebody else she give her attention to. So must something like that, and she not really interested. So jealousy does play its role, but what it must be is that we must manage this, we must handle it, and we must make sure that we take the correct steps to address this thing. All right. So Sir Calvin, me Jim Screechy.
Come in a class quiet behind the teacher.
Yeah. All right, boss, from United States of Maple. So this is what my wife called mild jealousy then. And so mild jealousy is a natural human emotion that can be healthy. And I think that's the point we want to drive home this evening. As long as you address it thoughtfully, sensibly, it can play an important role in your marriage. It can help you to value each other. It can help you to cherish each other. For me personally, it made me think back what we really have.
Remember, I said this to you. D. Robert said, "If God is a jealous God," I remember I was saying to you earlier today that the relationship between husband and wife is like God and the church, and if God says a jealous God, say have no other God. Like we are together, so
Yeah.
why should you put the emphasis out there when I am here?
Right.
And I'm being valued and that kind of thing.
Right. So yeah, and no, God is jealous after what belongs to him, us and our worship. That's what God is really jealous about. And the same thing should follow through with our marriage. I should feel that sense of jealousy towards my wife, as long as she means something to me. And as long as she's important. So that's very much important. That's my position where that is concerned. I also believe that a strong relationship has a foundation, um, a foundation of love, mutual respect, trust, and communication. So anytime, so most time when jealousy becomes toxic, something is happening in these areas. The whole matter of love. Do I care about the person? Mutual respect. Do I respect? Does this person respect? Do we have any boundary? Something is happening with the respect, the trust. Also, there's a breakdown
And
in
sometimes there's
communication.
no bond, like there's no connection. So it's like the question lingers.
Yeah, exactly. So if it is that, let's say, me I talk with Mary Jane, and me never have even the common respect to say, so me gonna talk to Mary Jane, blah 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 blah. I think
But
that could also encourage that as well.
and it's understanding your partner, because you'll be talking to somebody
Mhm.
at a certain time of the night, and it doesn't bother me because we don't have that kind of
Right.
we understand each other, right?
And I think it follows. I should really commend you on that for real, because I mean I've never had to over explain myself, and I've never had to give a justification. You know, I've heard pastors say, boy, if them are cons to somebody, them have to tell them wife. Never had that kind of problem, right? In fact, I'll be talking to somebody, and my wife just get up and excuse herself, and them say later she'll come back, come link me. And if she come back, I'm still busy. She gone again. But I think that comes because of the level of respect that we have for each other, and that sense of trust and the open communication that we have. I have said to persons that the leading cause for jealousy sometimes lead to relationship breaking up. Most times it has to do with a money factor. Now, this is not advice to anybody. I'm just sharing my story. I'm sharing my wife's story. That's all it is. Um, when we're doing our counseling, our marriage officer was quite unorthodox, not the normal kind of go sit down in the office and just what a reason. Our thing were meant to be quite practical and hands-on. Um, I remember in one of those meetings we had to do up a budget or something of what our current income was. And you know what the discussion was about? We were supposed to,
How much money would you give me out of your salary?
yeah, and then she need to work out how much you go contribute, if anything. And I think that evening I was, what do you call it now, very ambitious. When you really want to impress the young lady, impress her with the style that we got.
One song, guess what?
Something like that. I guess I think elephant.
I think of that you mean.
Yeah, I'm nothing say that. But yeah, in that particular meeting though, he pointed out after me show how much me I gonna give my wife, and he then asked if mother show my wife me peer advice. I mean, like, what she even know that for? That's too. You feel like that's too intrusive. You like you just are getting on my business too much. So I said, no, I must can keep back something. And I do remember him say, listen to me, I've been married for X time, and I've never received my own pay slip or something like that. In fact, we have an understanding in our family that when we are spending above a certain amount, then we have a discussion about it. But then what we do is have that kind of mutual saving. And his grounds was, when I do that, if someone asks me for something, I feel the need to be accountable. Why? Because my wife I got to see the printout and see where the money go, right? And that kind of thing. So that also helps with the communication, so to speak. And the truth is, at first, me never warm up to it. And most Jamaican man were still like me, we not warm up to that so easy. But the truth is, friends, I have practiced that from that very particular point. And we have never had those kind of issue where is. I mean, I look at me here, some of my friends them attack say, if you say, boy, you know, um, you're supposed to get raised now, and that means you're supposed to get more money. And some of the guys will be saying to me that, listen to me, I give my wife most of the money, and she still a beg me some more. And the end
Because the
result,
thought may be that you take the money and give another woman.
yeah. So woman, let me tell you, woman come like basket without bottom if them feel like say something that go on. And they act on their insecurity some little ways. And so sometimes, you know, them know them get some money, but just to rinse you and make sure say somebody else not give. Them ask you for something else, or them tell you for pay for this, or them tell you for do this. The women on here can tell me if I say go for, you know, right? But what I have proven, you see,
So me do that?
no, that I think no, that may talk about that's our story. So what I have proven from my scenario is I remember that I had a very ambitious amount that I would give my wife monthly. And I have never given my wife that amount ever. And that doesn't have to go change the standard now. And what we have is equal access. We have our understanding, we set our budget, we work towards our goals, and we have that sense of trust and thing. Not that I'm going back to check what she spends, or she needs to tell me everything where she spends, or the same way. But if I think
But this is different.
yeah,
I wouldn't tell her neither.
you see. I know a male friend who doesn't show his wife his pay slip, and he got
You have to manage your money when
3
you
years
sustain.
since they're married.
You
He
have to-
says she spends too. Oh yeah, well in that
In
case,
that case,
but
there must be some kind of
but that's where communication comes in, and we recognize the strength because the parameters that you're setting up is for the family, right? And a wife, even if she loves spend, she must have the family interest at heart. And so if this is a weakness that she's struggling with, then an understanding should be let me be the one to handle
the
and
better
manage
financial
the money.
manager must
So
manage the money.
communication is going to be key, or else we're gonna have some little unnecessary arguments that pop up at particular time. But that's how it has worked for me and my wife. She you know, we've never had any issue concerning trust or what we do with money. We never have those kind of discussion. I've heard persons say, why, you know, my wife think me I give me mother the money or me I get this. I've given and I've given substantial amount away, and I've given to strangers as well, but we have never had the discussion. And I just want to say I think based on what the research is and our own experience, that I mean the level of honesty, the openness accounts for that level of success that we have had. All right. So I'm not saying this is what I'm not supposed to do. I'm just saying this is what we have done. All right. And this can help to address jealousy in a relationship. If there's a problem called jealousy, it needs to be managed. And this is one way that persons can start looking at managing and handling this. All right, so Lady Pause, is it right for a husband or wife to tell his or her husband or wife not to answer or touch his or her phone? When
Then
I
that going to bring some form of insecurity. That
Alright.
going to turn up my
yeah, you're going to become suspicious. All right,
Yeah.
for me, my I mean, I have I think we both have access to each other's accounts and all that kind of thing. But I personally, if I see my wife phone ringing, unless she's really unavailable, I'm not trying to answer her phone because I'm not suspicious of anything. Right? I'm not trying to answer her phone. I take her phone to her to answer, and I'm not standing up there and wait either. Right? Because I have not been given a reason to think that something not go on or something not go right or that kind of thing. So I not have that kind of thing. And vice versa. There. So I do think that we are individuals and we should be allowed our individual space. So just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm not an individual, and that I don't have space. I don't have need for space and privacy as well. It doesn't mean that you need to be up in my space every single time and making me feel like I'm in a prison. Right?
Yeah, but this show, if I come to you,
yeah,
and I said to you, don't pick up my phone, don't read my text, don't
man.
go in my phone, then that going to turn up your antennas to wonder what is it that I'm hiding.
Exactly.
There must be something that you don't want me, I don't want you to see, right? And for me, I believe in transparency in relationships because that is another can of worm for jealousy, right? So he has the code for my devices. I will have the code for your devices. We have access.
And that don't mean to say.
That don't say I'm going to go and search.
And it don't mean somebody just write down my number, my PIN number and give me wife. Or she just have to give me. It just happened that based on how we live within the household, there might be things that she has to do from my device at times and might be the very same. Rather than me having to every time I forgot open. That cause somebody to start wonder why, for what reason, right? But that doesn't mean that because I have access to her device that I'm checking her message every day, or me look who I check her call log or that kind of thing, because I want her to have her own individuality. If she give me a reason, me not tell her say I might not end up start check what I go on. See how she tells her she love, but right, but that's here that is. All right, good. So I do think, Lady P, that there should Right. I do think that a couple who is struggling here needs to get on the table and have that open communication and set up those parameters and set out those expectations. And even when those expectations are set, please give each other some of the little space too, because sometimes I know it can be it can really feel away when your spouse really check out your every minute, every move where you make and all that kind of stuff. All right. Communication transparency, a whole ton of Jamaican Caribbean men here in America telling them why. Oh yeah, well, me know me have some brethren where we have two phones. They carry one home and leave one in the car. And not right, people. So not right. Let me walk down.
My phone have password.
Question: what do you think about having a password? My phone has password. Daniel has, and that's to keep kids from out of our phones, right? And if I lose the phone, it's also for extra security as well.
Yeah.
It's not trying to keep something away from my part. And one of the things is, you see, when you start to hide things, it's gonna come out one way. Something. I mean, just something.
Especially for those partners who are very, like you can sense it if something is off.
Yeah, but just action also,
So that mean like sense it through
left your phone, breeze or go back to your phone, or
and
something.
Social media has created a lot of things as norms, like influence a lot of behaviors, because I've seen where persons like content creators have done this where they get the kids involved. If the wife picks up the phone, like the kid would make a sound, and then the husband would start do something to distract the wife so they can get the phone, or that kind of thing. And for me, persons might think it's funny, but for me, I think it is kind of sending a message like, listen, I don't want her to touch my phone. There must be something in it, or that kind of thing. And it seems fun, but the message is being sent, and persons are taking to these things, indirectly, that kind of thing, because they're influencing those who are viewing. And so, we have to be so careful of what we feed ourselves with, because sometimes you don't even realize until you're actually in it doing it,
Absolutely. So, I mean, I'm going to say again that we must be able to trust each other. so that each other can have their individual space, but persons shouldn't take advantage of that and shouldn't abuse it, right? Because one thing about trust is that trust loss is difficult to regain. It's difficult. It no matter how the person save and sanctimonious and how much them baptized and the whole aisle around down them face like saving grace I run after them, it's hard to build again something that you once abused.
But I am sure there are instances where persons probably find things in a phone where
those are the well, I know church money I talk about. I know church money I talk about, lady. I know church money. Church money I talk about. I can't church money me I call bonus now because church money them not do them something there. Church money them a one burner. Sure. All right. But yeah, keep the comments coming, guys, as we go through. All right. When one person feels threatened or worries about losing their partner, their emotions can transform into fear, insecurity, and finally jealousy. All right. So most times when persons are actually jealous, when jealousy becomes something bad, this is what is happening, right? One partner is feeling fearful, they're feeling insecure, and of course that then leads to jealousy.
I'm here for the comments.
Very, very, very important. Like that. And so because of that now, persons have to then learn now to address the root cause. I think recognizing jealousy means recognizing it is good. All right. So like how me come on and tell my wife, say, me here at 2 o'clock come on and I tell man saying love him. And me acknowledge that. My wife now can have the level of respect for me and now know say, all right, me now go do that because my spouse, you know, my spouse feel away. What go on night chat? What look like? Church.
No, sir.
Dear Roberts, talk to me about the church man them there. Tell me where them are going with. Because church man are nice people, you know.
The sanctimonious one.
All them know if you do a speaking tongues
some of them persons that went,
and stay in a church. Only don't follow the Roberts. Left the Roberts. But I want going. Lady Peter about there. Lady Angela, they're everywhere. Nobody to come to them and them rescue. No exemption. I had a man who used to hide when he was from.
Talk about yourself.
All right, sir. Some are worse. How them church people are like so hard this evening? Lord, Sir Calvert, I want to go on. It's why them ladies are come out so strong. Look at this. There you go. You know, I'm a big advocate for building men. I'm a big advocate for building men. And so, watch I'll teach you now. Uno stop it, man. Guys, I want to suggest 8 ways to deal with jealousy. So the first thing is that we need to acknowledge it, right? So a lot of persons, you know, because they don't want people to look at them a certain way, they behave, oh, I'm not jealous, oh, I'm not this. It's very important to acknowledge it. If you find this as a true weakness, that when your wife dress up in a one piece of something there and walk down the road, and you look up this one and say, Tom and Harry, look, it make you feel a kind of way. Acknowledge it. Because if you don't, it will grow into something as you start to think, you start to assume, you start to imagine. So as she left the yard and now come back, you start thinking, say, a Tom and Aria entertain her. Or you start to trail or put on your investigation. problem there. So if when wife just
And you become possessive.
exactly because you want to own her.
And
it becomes a
that's
problem.
how persons
Same
will
thing
even
with the
lose
woman,
their
vice versa.
lives.
Exactly. It leads to people hurting people and all of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So the first thing, so jealousy can be healthy, but from the moment you recognize it, you must be ready to do something about it. Hold on, let me look at one. The belt that come out. No, church men have a thing about them too. Hey, encouragement. What you know about church man? Hold on there. We have to be careful because not even church man we cannot. Guys, it can't that bad. We not gonna stay up and join, because it's you know what? It's like how people say soldiers and those things. Every soldier are this kind of person, or police, everybody are the same, or politician, everybody is the same. Also, I think that's a generalization. Yeah, some
You say
good
it's a
humble
hasty generalization.
hasty, and it amounts to be a fallacy because you have some nice young man and
Some
look
people
some
learn
woman
in English
for
class.
trust. But yeah, I was all right. Yeah, look at this, and all when you catch them,
They say
it
a lie.
wasn't me. Them learn from
Who said
Shaggy.
that, Shaggy? It wasn't me.
Sorry for you. You have a whole lot of man to be. All right, I want to pray for me. We have to investigate them like when you're stringing needle.
No, sir. Hey, Jesus.
Guys, I'm not going good enough. Not going good. Let me move on.
Lady Andrea come to the rescue. You have some
Yeah, you have some
nice,
nice, decent men and,
yeah.
and guys. Me know say the world wants us to think that no good man no out there. And from me, I grew up me say no good man no out there. So then what Daniel get? Guys, we have to know say. I mean, I agree that there are some good persons, terrible persons out there, but we also have some good ones. All right? Okay. Last night
I went to my pastor anniversary party, and one man where a pastor, couldn't come off.
couldn't
Come
come
off
off.
a man, and another with him where couldn't stop still. Lord have mercy.
Then girl, you got church go nice up. On die problem, die problem. Don't go up there with a nice up self. Chop. Some can't be trusted. All when them guys, no. Here's something I want to put out there too. Just because a man has a Teja, what would you do if your husband is having a weakness, being attracted to some other kind of woman? I think sometimes even marriage can be helped right there. Because if we create a space of honesty and people can come out and hold that conversation and be open to each other and say, honey, say, me have a struggle right here. I think the wife's supposed to jump on the man's side and start help him, give him some steps. But sometimes some of these guys are really a struggle. But them afraid, say if them come tell them wife will get up and left them and gone. Some man really a struggle. Some not care. But you have some.
You ever struggle?
You have some where a struggle. Let us move on.
You ever struggle?
Let us move on. We are going to be talking about 8 different steps. All right? 8 different steps that one can take to deal with jealousy. So the first one, somebody can write them down. 1, you acknowledge and openly talk about the jealousy. So if you have noticed jealous feelings, guy better like me. So I'm come out and talk about mine, and we can have an idea. So my wife had the space to be open and tell me what they really are going. I mean nobody feel bad again. So that can work. Right? So you notice jealous feelings, it might be time to have an open and candid conversation with your spouse. As was said, many persons said it earlier, communication is the key. And in many instances, jealousy is an internal battle. All right. Some people are really, really, really struggling with their imaginations. And so we have to help them rechannel those creativity and innovative minds. Creative and innovative minds. All right. Through doing proper introspection. All right. Once you have done that, you need to share what you have discovered. All right. So sometimes, even as a spouse, you have also discovered something that your spouse is doing that you think, hey, I don't like this. Or share that with your partner because they are the best person, that you're a team. They are the best persons to help
how you share it is very important.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. So be truthful about how you're feeling and what makes you uncomfortable. See, sometimes a woman get jealous and then just lock off and done with the talking and and just swell up like frog. Me can answer that. I'm not say that. I'm sorry. All right, but them just start swell. Talk about what you're really uncomfortable about. The next thing that you will need to do now as a couple is to create some boundaries. All right? Create some boundaries. A partner who is willing to honestly talk about their feelings is demonstrating healthy jealousy. So the problem is, whenever some people may have some brethren with jealous. And when the man them jealous, them bakes like bull cow. Them thump down the wall, them lick down this, them not eat no food, them not come back, them go a bar. That's a problem, right? So that's a problem. So the problem is really not feeling jealous, is what you do. So you must honestly talk about your feelings, all right? And an example could be I felt jealous when the man at the party was talking to you. Or the man at church did I talk to you?
Or the wife of the pastor.
The wife of the pastor. Yeah.
I felt jealous when you were eyeing
that young, sweet, pretty girl. Me really don't like how you look at her. So look at that, all right? And also, another you could say I felt like he was, like your partner was flirting, or you felt like the person that flirt with your partner, right? And that made you uncomfortable, all right? And so by doing this, you're expressing exactly what is the problem.
But
and you can help people to understand.
This takes two, with this approach. Because you have some persons, you might approach them with that, and they come and it is like it start one whole disagreement because they don't think that they should be approached by because of what you think.
Look for Nelly, man. Look for Lady T.
Don't marry the person skinny and then you let Lord have mercy.
Then remember you have plastic surgeon, Lady Paula. Or you have gym.
Or you can go gym.
But you have plastic surgeon, you have gym. Put your money where your mouth there. By the way, that's not advice. All right, I'm just yeah. All right. So again, as my wife said, when you're expressing yourself, no, it must be healthy expression. So how do I express this? But the partner must also be approachable. So just because somebody tell you that they are struggling to look for pretty Jane down the road, no mean they have already cheated, right? So wives and men as well need to become open so that, when your partner can share these weaknesses. Most time we say, my partner can talk anything with me, but when the thing gets so personal, you're really affected by it. And so we have to remember that we have to try and create
you see me I look for her?
Yeah, we have to create a relationship that is conducive. Yeah. But not just that only, it's also on the partner who is let's say I'm struggling. I came and I said, Daniel, I'm struggling with XYZ. Some women will get upset and mad. Who you mean this? And you say you're Christian, you say you're pastor, you say you're this. by the time you're
understand? I said
done.
both persons have to sing there.
Right. So that's why we need to create now that
Space.
conducive space for honest discussion. Because no matter how you're pretty, your partner gonna have some form of struggles with something. Right? It may not be the and I guess as persons as well grow, they become more mature and they lose certain kind of things. So certain things they were struggling with perhaps earlier in the marriage, they don't struggle at it again. And that's gonna be with your help and of course your support. All right, good. Most of the good men are lost in trans.
Lady Oldness who is waiting on balls.
Lady Wallace, I am going to pray that that is not true. Lord, you don't say that don't be. All right, next one. All right, this is another step to deal with jealousy as well. Keep a relationship journal, and this might sound simple, but it works. All right. So when you struggle with jealous feelings, writing it in a journal can be a great source of support and guidance. It's a safe place for you to vent and describe how your jealousy feels, both emotionally and physically. It's a place that you can use this now as a means to assess, have I grown? It's a place where you can set yourself milestone. Your journal is not going to judge you, right? Or what you write, I got it. And it's not going to judge you for how you feel, right? So this is absolutely an opportunity for you to go beneath the surface and explore insecurities and also your frustrations. When you journal, try reflecting on your relationship and ask yourself key questions such as, is your partner really the right person for you? But if you're married, boy, you can't skip that one then. Did he or she do something specific to trigger the jealousy? But, on that note, babes, I've always said it, I don't believe in Mr. Right. I'm sorry. For my church folks on here, again, this is my opinion. I do not believe in Mr. Right and Mrs. Right. This is why when one person say I'm Miss Right and then the thing now work out, all of a sudden Miss Right become Miss Wrong. And that's a problem. We just have to understand that we're two imperfect people coming together on a team to make it work. Any two persons can make anything work. Right? This is why you can have two unsaved, two atheists come together and their marriage work. So why is it that it's wrong for the Christian, right? I don't believe in the idea of a right person in the context of somebody with them signature written for me. I don't believe in that. But I believe though that I must look for certain attributes and criteria.
Criteria, you can't do it though.
Right, that will make me happy and make a better team. Exactly, D. Roberts. There's no Mr. Right. It's free will. If for you to say that God choose your wife, you have to say God choose your friends as well. No, the Lord has equipped us with wisdom. He has given us His word. He has sent people to teach, and He has created programs like this so we can hold a reason and you can hear, from our views, and you can use your wisdom. Believe it, God trusts you to use your wisdom, all right, and make right decision. And two persons who start off and think they are the wrong marriage, it can work. As I sit here, I recall during the pandemic, I met a couple, and it was a rough time for them. And I mean, when the young lady reached out to me, she basically said, done. It done, Rev. It done. It over. It not go no further, Rev. It done. There was almost nothing I could have said to her. I think though, but somehow the Lord allowed me to use some analogy or something and, talk to her. And I mean, the couple good now. And they've gotten over the bump. Man, I'm hearing them reasoning now, and I learn from them because, it's as if they have gotten to a place where they have now used these experiences to be able to support other people, and that's good. So it's perfectly normal to struggle at something in your marriage. Marriage is is like any institution that you work for. Yeah, I'm an educator, and there are sometimes I'm going to disagree strongly with persons in my department about how we go about certain things, right? But that doesn't mean we're failing. That doesn't mean we can find strength out of that. Sometimes we have to get a mediator to come in and say what I'm actually trying to say, all right, or the other person is trying to say, and we come together again and start working. All right, so the school don't burn down just because we're having a disagreement. And so the very same thing should carry through with marriage. All right, so very important. All right, next, ask yourself if you need to look at your ways of being in a relationship. And so I think sometimes we're quick at looking at the partner. I was guilty of this, but me was the kind of person where you. And I find that, sometimes when we don't want to address the thing that really affects us, we blame the person for every single thing. I do it as joke now with my wife, but back in the days, it's serious. But really,
You used to do something else, so wait a say. Like, yeah, I say. Me always can never do nothing right.
Yeah, some play guilt trip. Right? Yeah. And those kind of things. And listen, and I'm speaking this from my heart this evening. It never worked for me. Right? And so my advice to you is to, just look at where you are in the relationship yourself, and be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, are you bringing your past into this new relationship? And I think that a lot of things I struggled with, and when I say struggle, because sometimes people don't even understand the impact of environment. If I came from a broken home, me come all me know I hear my mother and father cuss and fight and all do some things most of the time. and me now come and try the church thing, try the God thing, try the pastor thing. I know I tried the marriage thing, right? And so I was no expert at this thing, and still I'm no expert at this thing. I'm still learning as we go along, but I've learned some things I can share this evening, right? And so I brought those things because my mother used to tell me, say, no, but I'm married, because woman are wicked, Then I came from a parish where them say, send me a woman no good enough, and then me go marry to and send me a woman. Jesus peace. So you have to ask, yourself, look what the Lord has. Exactly, little P. Don't give up on us just because we're struggling at the beginning. And that's why I'm using this to say that look at where you are at your marriage, and I'm just trying to let you know it's normal to struggle. Boy, I'm a struggle for about 2-3 good years, so it's normal to it's normal to struggle, and that kind of thing. Right? Maybe my kind of struggle wasn't as serious as people struggle, but yeah. The other thing that we need to ask ourselves is, are you self-sabotaging? And that sound like me a while ago, based on what my wife said. Then to ask yourself that, all right? And so, once you answer this question, it might be time to try something different to restore your relationship. So those things make you sleep head on toe. Those things make you sleep in a next room. Those things make you sleep in a couch. Those things make you take up your bag and go camp. Lord. So it's time to try something new. All right. Third point I'm going to give you before we wrap up this evening. Third point is explore underlying issues. This is third point. What is causing this? Ongoing jealousy in a relationship causes distress that can be an indication of anxiety or self-esteem issues. My wife spoke about that. Feel good about your body. Sometimes this happens to women, right? After giving birth, them start now feel so sexy again, right? So you need to go in with the reassurance and make them know, say, hey girl, nobody still don't like you. I'm in a business so much Benz out there, me all right with my Cadillac. But Rev don't want to sleep.
Indeed,
Yeah. Listen to
that
me.
look implies there is still more struggle.
Oh, me?
My look, how did I look?
At that moment, you need to get up and talk. Oh, let it be. I think in everything we do,
Yeah,
you know, we
yeah,
grow.
we learn as we go along,
Yeah,
but we have come far.
yeah, distance. We feel like a miles. All right, let's run on. So, an example would be if you haven't completely worked through childhood issues or past infidelity, it may manifest in how you engage in your present relationship. So, before you talk to your partner, yeah, identify where your feelings are coming from. It's very important because one of the worst things to do is just because you're struggling with past infidelity that you're now judging the person. You know, that can be a real unwelcome kind of treatment in a relationship. So look out for that. Very important. All right. So take responsibility for your behavior and make a commitment to address your insecurities. All right. And many persons, we can put the statistics out there. Research suggests that jealousy can grow when you face a threat to your self-esteem. All right. So people who have low self-esteem can just get jealous from move from 0 to 100. All right. So you need to check yourself again. So if you're struggling, right, before you start, say your partner do something, just check yourself and make sure. All right, one method to explore low self-esteem focuses on identifying personal values such as communication, compassion, and of course, honesty. This will help you to pinpoint your positive traits and review what's important in your relationship. This can also increase your sense of self-esteem and might help decrease distressing feelings of jealousy, all right, and also overthinking in the relationship. All right, very important. The fourth point I want to put out there, I'm giving you seven. Seven is good. Fourth point is identify your unspoken and unmet needs. A lot of persons are struggling, and it's because you have some unmet needs. Wife never give what you want. She never cook the fish like how you love it. These can lead to you. Oh, I call me no special. I call you no like me. I call you no want me. I call you no want this. I call you no want that. Unmet needs. So let's look what these needs are.
And sometimes it can be a sense of, saying the wife, prayer that if the husband might think the priorities aren't balanced as it relates to, the children, how things are surrounded around the children,
Right.
and the husband feel as though he's now, not as valued
Yeah.
because they take the precedence in the relationship, and so that can create that problem too.
Exactly. Especially, yeah, when children are, more, I guess that would probably be something that most persons that marry once a child comes into the being, into the being, the first child might be the feeling for the man. We just listen, yeah, man. All right, so me tell you what the three were teacher that I went to. So it's one it's one, acknowledge and openly talk about the jealousy,
I think
and
so.
and two, keep the
Relationship.
relationship journal. Three,
Did you talk
explore
about boundaries too?
underlying
That's not
issues. Yeah, I think boundaries came out in one of the things I was talking about the acknowledging. So that's it. All right, so you get some bonus one. So again, we're now looking at identify your unspoken and unmet needs. All right, so this can be tricky because you will have to practice vulnerability within yourself. You have some people who just go on strong and tough. One like say, it not bother you. Guys, the more honest you become in a relationship, the better it will be.
It
Right?
happens. It happens.
How can I? Okay.
It happens.
Dear Roberts, can I just be honest? It does. And that no means I never love my son. And that don't mean say my wife never do her best. But if you stay like me and Daniel, we're almost inseparable. Right? And me always I get me 100% attention and all those kind of things. And I don't think that you mean anything bad. You just have feel like say, boy, just not get enough time anymore. So I guess that's why. But it's not something that you hate your child or you despise. It's just something that comes where if you're not mature enough to understand that, hey, this is my wife is no longer just a wife, but she's now a mother. Right? There's someone who is depending, relying on. And that's why this communication, that's why this honesty, D. Roberts, that's why we have these honest talk.
Men are weird.
Yeah, man, we're very weird, man. I tell you, we're weird. We're weird, but that's why I come to talk to you on behalf of them. All right. So when jealousy involves a third person, you should do a self-assessment to help you filter through the web of emotions. And when that third person come in, we may talk about. You don't want to act on assumptions or find yourself bringing up past issues or experiences and then projecting them onto your current relationship. So the assessment can be as simple as asking yourself these questions. And I have these questions for you to ask. So what is the emotion? What is the emotion telling me? Or what is my emotion telling me? That's one. Two, where do I feel unseen in this relationship? Three, what am I no longer getting from this relationship that I feel this other person is getting instead? And that coming when you start feel like somebody I get more of your sugar money, right? The money I get less. So ask yourself honestly, this kind of self-talk is necessary because this now help you as you go along. All right. Next, what do I believe I'm losing? Because sometimes when I have these conversations with people who think them I get born, and when me ask them about them same question, it's like them never think about it before. And as soon as they start to talk now, they start to say, oh, but him still at the same pay, and him still I get this amount of money, and me still I get this amount of money, and yeah, him actually work and him do an extra job, so maybe him actually not stop nowhere. It's not, there's not enough time for him to really stop anywhere and that kind of stuff. So we have to make sure that the things from the past aren't coming in, all right? So we have to ask these questions. That's the assessment. So taking time to introspect and answer the questions, can bring unmet needs to light. It tells you what you're not getting anymore. So your spouse used to come home and spank you, give you a hug. You're no longer getting that. That is what you're not getting. Talk to your spouse now. Baby, used to love when I get this. Me not get this anymore. Me can't start get it back. That's a healthy way to deal with the thing called jealousy. So we don't have to get to the point where we are, seeing jealousy as something bad, but we can actually manage it to our advantage. All right. Now, once you have gained this new perspective, you can decide how you would like to move forward in response to your feelings. And 9 times out of 10, the woman them where did I go black road and beat up people decide that them not do it because make no sense. That go make them look bad. All right. So don't act in the moment, right? Think, because sometimes it could just be some things that you think you should be getting that you're not getting that is pushing you to react a certain way. All right? Hope me I go and good enough. Let me know. Number 5, Tidra, voice your concerns. So if your partner's actions, provoke jealous feelings, do not hesitate to bring this up with your partner as soon as possible. I know some women and men too equally will decide I'm going to keep it back for a while, and it's like, let me watch him first. Let me try and catch him off guard. Right? Guys, that only lead to more bitterness, and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing is, remember that you're a team. You're not trying to cause your marriage to fall apart. You're trying to help your marriage. So when you realize that there's a defect in your tire, go and watch your tire until the tire bursts open and start rim. You give attention to the tire right away. So even if the man did not start eyes one girl, bring it to him attention right away. So he might realize that what he's actually losing out on, or is about to lose out on. 9 times out of 10, when I talk with spouse in the relationship, when the wife brings certain things come, all when the man flash off and go on with him antics like it no matter, at least him know, and he knows what he can do now to please the spouse and to keep the relationship. So very, very important that that one does that. All right. Now, they might not have been aware of the behavior. That's true. Or they might not have realized how you felt. Don't just assume that your partner is supposed to feel away because you hug up one woman. Because me is a kind of person. Me don't know if there's church hug or there's other kind of hugging. Me just hug up people. Me just hug up people.
You know, hug up people certainly.
But me just hug up people. Because my heart genuinely poor. Exactly, because I'm not trying to, I don't know, passionate kind of something where I rub up kind of something, because that's not what me I got in the thing for. Me just a hug genuinely like a greetings, but some woman can see a general hug and start feel like, say, yo, that hug do not feel right, Feel like that hug too close. And you see my wife can scout me up. You see how when the people are going to treat me bad, my wife can pick out when them are planning to treat me bad, You see that? See that?
Me tell you.
So, guys, we don't always aware. And I'm going to tell you this, men aren't always alert to some things that women are. I'm going to be honest with you. I was at a particular church, and every time I take the mic, one certain woman pick up her bag and walk in her office. And me never know what I'm going. And still I tell my wife, say, no, honey, me feel that she's still nice. But no, honey, no, sir. That the woman they save like Jesus step on the cross. So nobody with that something there. Right? Well, only if you find out, say, after a while, she actually admits, boy, same thing can happen in a relationship. She start admit, say, yeah, me that feel some kind of way. That's why I better go on. So don't think we always know. Inform us, tell us. All right. Don't leave anything up for just observation. All right, good. Me hear some go on, good. Some go on. So use the opportunity to discuss or revisit any relationship boundaries. It's a good thing. That's why, as partners, you would have set your boundaries. So now you're going to come back now and have the discussion. Only remember that we say, right? We now go accept call at a certain time. Only remember that we say, we're not going to have this kind of conversation because these things affect me. Listen, mean to say you're guilty because it affects your wife, and it affects your spouse. That's something a man also understand. And men and women equally. It don't mean say you're guilty of something because it affects your spouse. But your job is to serve your spouse's interests, because that's how the relationship are going to work out.
No wonder the man that look on teacher.
See there? I have a problem. You need show. Let me move on. All right, guys, let's go on. So, next, if you trust your partner but have doubts because of past relationship experiences, try finding ways that both of you can improve the situation. Remember, your partner is choosing to be with you. And I want to highlight that. Listen, I want to highlight that. Every day I get up, I decide to stay married to my wife. She does the same. So she's not my slave, She's not bound. She's making a choice. So she's not at prison. And that's something, guys, we have to realize. All right, so just remind your partner the commitment, what your expectations are in the relationship. All right. Also, what you plan to do. All right. Good. Try and find ways that both of you can improve the situation. Remember, you're not trying to catch your partner giving you a bun. That is only destroying the relationship. You're trying to help the relationship. Remember that your partner is choosing again to be with you. For example, if there is a specific person in your partner's life that you feel jealous of, consider these options. All right. Muting your Instagram and following them on Facebook so that you can have fewer chances to compare yourself to them. Shift the focus to ongoing open communication with your partner instead. So stop trolling some people. Yeah, stop trolling them. Yeah, man, stop trolling them. Because some people, once them feel like them partner like her because of how she shape, every other minute them hide and look at the people in picture. Stop it and follow them. Unfollow them. All right? Let me move right along. The 6th point I want to make. 6th point. Sorry. 6th point. Hold back on making rash decisions. All right? So hold back on making rash decisions. Amidst temporary heightened emotions, we all can agree. The choices that we make can have long-lasting negative consequences. So, in the midst, because I think I get born, me get up and box my wife. That can have some form of long-lasting consequence. You might sleep at jail for it. And she might never forgive you, and it might end the relationship. And you also tarnish her. She start feel like every man a go box her. And it also affect the children who know about it, and it affect how people look on their spouse. Think carefully, people. Think carefully. Not everything you feel in jealousy means it's real. Jealousy that gets out of control can present itself in the form of anger, which can lead to the relationship crumbling. It's strongly, and this is my strong suggestion, it's strongly suggested that you take a few minutes. Somebody say count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wiggle your toe, breathe in, breathe out, yeah? And set suit when you feel emotionally charged by jealousy. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to do something that you regret, and you could break the law, but you could also crush any hope in the relationship. Please, remember me, I tell you. All right. A few helpful exercises that you can use. All right. So, me mention you can count to 10. As me say, wiggle your toe. You can do deep breathing exercise. And don't rush it. Because normally when people are angry, now so them go. That's what I'm talking about. Deep breath. You feel jealous now? Come deep breath. Deep breath.
You feel jealous?
Yeah.
That's the next point, lady P.
See how many things I talk about? Yeah. Good. Next. You can also engage in progressive muscle relaxation. So, it's people that when they call it name when you're yoni.
Yoga. You know what yoni be? Jesus. Yoga.
Did I just say that? Yoga.
Somebody tell him where yoni be.
I said yogi. I didn't say yoni.
Yoni.
I said yogi.
That's what I say.
Where's some name? Yoga? Yoga. Good. Yoga. Thank you. So, yeah, we know that Christians have them different view on this because them things because me a stretch out, me a praise Muhammad. That's not what we're actually doing. All right, guys. So you're trying to relax yourself. You can also go to the gym. You can go take a walk. You can go take a run. All of these things help. All right. You can do a mindfulness activity, right? Something. Go do some puzzle. Something. Allow your mind to come back to a sensible state. So coping with triggered jealousy won't help you work through the underlying issues, but consciously turning your attention away from it can help keep you from acting on your feelings in a way that could harm the relationship and harm the individual. And number 7, which is what Lady P just said, talk to a therapist. Okay? So if you are struggling, I know Christian love do this, Enough Christian know want to do it because they know why yesterday married, especially the one them were just married. Them full of pride so much. It's all of us here, by the way. I was there too. We don't want to talk to nobody so we are struggling because it go and make us look bad. We just married and then they know so we old. And so,
But not only that, because of your status, because you're in ministry and you think say you can talk to somebody with problems because you don't think you should have problems.
Right, that's true. Why have to talk about the business?
No, I'm just saying it.
So we have to talk about the ministry part.
But they have other persons who might be struggling with it because they're like, oh, I don't need counseling because I'm a counselor. The counselor need a counselor too.
You see, guys.
I'm gonna breathe in for not respond to me. If you know
All right, guys. So very, 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 it's true. So sometimes because of our relation, our status, and sometimes we don't want people to know that our relationship not working. We don't want to talk to nobody. But guys, we have to start realizing that we have to take all the steps to manage our feel. If we don't, we're not gonna have no marriage. You're not gonna be like Lady Andrea, we are celebrate 22 years, right? It got blow up, it got done. All right. So marriage is work. So you have to commit to keep doing these things. And people have to do. If you go talk to Lady Andrea, when she don't tell her how much something she have to do to make sure fair marriage work, you just don't take notes. All right. So so these are some tips we want to encourage you to have. All right, good. Yeah, so let's get on. All right. So talking about jealousy isn't always easy. Let's put that out there. And initially, you might feel even more uncomfortable because it's a weakness. Nobody don't like to talk about weakness, right? But an effective therapist knows that jealousy is a normal emotion and will respond to you with empathy and compassion. And me not the church, but I advise you to find somebody where not only spiritually trained. Find someone who has not just been to a spiritual university, because sometimes they can be so insensitive to what you're saying. Next thing them start buying up demons of jealousy. A demon might really be acting and using the tool called jealousy. But guys, it's important to find someone who you can level with, someone who can understand, somebody who can look at your story and realize you're really struggling and have a mind to help you, not a mind to put you down. All right, that's very, very important. So please find a balanced person to talk to when you're seeking therapy. Okay. All right. Here are some signs that a therapist might be helpful. All right. 1, jealousy leads to obsessive or fixated thoughts. So if you have these things, you can't sit down just a journal. You need somebody to work with you. So jealousy leads to obsessive or fixated thoughts. 2, jealous thoughts become intrusive and unmanageable. That's when we start check every message, check every phone, check every email, me I watch you, me I hide and come after you, all of those things. All right? Violent thoughts or urges. Once you start feel like you have to go kill a woman, or you have to go kill a man, me I go kill him, me I get some acid and burn up this one. You need counseling. Next, problematic behavior, such as following your partner, spying on them, checking up on them consistently on social media. I think I said that already. Lord Jesus, you want counseling. Nobody stay there. You don't need deep breathing. You need to find a counselor. All right? Jealousy negatively impacts your day-to-day life and prevents you from focusing on work and activities. So if you can't go work or focus because you wonder if one man knock down the door, find a counselor. It's important. I mean, know some of we very spiritual Christians who reach heaven already, who feel they must just pray about everything. But God has allowed some people to develop skills. God has allowed people to develop skills in science, physiology, all the other different things of it. But psychology and counseling create the expertise so that they can help you. So
Lady Kim, she need a counselor.
You need a counselor? Of course. We need to talk. All right? We need to talk. We need to talk. We have the goods to help you. All right? Very important. Now, getting support from a therapist can help you work through and overcome the feelings that create a barrier in your relationship. You are no good to anyone if you are not at your best. And so jealousy means it's like having a real wound. It's like having a sore. Only me did I want a sore on my foot, you know. Yeah, and they nearly cut off my foot. Because guess what I used to do?
Cover you.
Me get one little scratch on my foot, but my father used to beat me enough. So I'm afraid of him. And so, you know, me I wear the socks over it. And so every time the socks go by it, when me come home, I sweat up and me have to drag it out. So, you know, a piece of skin that gone. And me, you know, more time I tear it out, it feels sweet.
Yeah.
And me keep on doing it only until me have one big old fat sore on my foot. You know what I found out?
Disinfectant?
Yeah, but you know what I found out? Is that when my father actually see that when the puff are come through the socks. And to my surprise, my father never did mean and wicked. May I try help somebody? Because sometimes our perception of how people are going to react is not true. Yeah. My father him actually did nice.
He was sensitive.
Him did sensitive. Him get something what them call a pill, capsule. Him get as somebody knows a capsule can heal up foot. And then pad it up with some capsule and carry me go a doctor. I'm still have a foot today. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes we are there trying to do things on our own and hiding it, and we're struggling, right? Well, we really need to get some help. All right, very important. Yes, Lady P, we have some story. So guys, don't let your marriage get festered like my foot, because then it's going to get cut off. So find a counselor, and the counselor might be really able to help you. All right, good. And make you see it from a different angle. And this is my last point.
Mm-hmm.
Last point only. Last point. Seek couples therapy. Because sometimes you don't want to go on your own, not true. Sometimes you don't want to go on your own. You feel it feels what do you call it now? What do you call it something now? Feel like somebody it feels like what on
No.
like it feel like, you know, when you want to go, it make you the target, right? You understand what I'm saying? And you don't want to be a target. So maybe if you find other couples as well who sit down in our round chair and start talking about for them problem and how them did overcome it and the thing with jealousy, they start realize, okay.
Oh, you mean like them
like a ring.
Yeah.
You make
like
a
when
ring.
you watch TV. Lady P probably can give.
Yeah, Lady P help with it. Round chair, round table talk
What is therapy?
with some couples. And And so this one now is not.
Like a group therapy.
Yeah. So it don't target.
Group counseling.
Yeah, it don't target you, you know. And then other persons who have struggled are sharing their stories. And you start realizing, oh, some Santimonious Christian and some Santimonious pastor. Then I struggle as a too. Oh, and so that can help you. All right. Last thing. But this is the last thing already?
Yes.
All right, last thing. All right, last thing. How to deal with that jealous partner.
Jesus.
Because that was you. But how do you now deal with that jealous partner? All right, so one, I'm going to make them fast. Teacher, come with me. Deal with that jealous partner. 5 steps after you. Doing it quickly. One, you're going to talk about their fears and their anxieties. All right, that's the first thing. So sit down and ask them exactly what's going on. Since jealousy is an indicator that a person feels threatened or scared, it's important that you listen with empathy and compassion without telling them these feelings are wrong. Right? So wives, may I help you? So if you have a partner, you have a problem, jealous partner, here's how you deal with it. One, talk about their fears and anxieties. Number two, don't get defensive about your own behavior. All right? So this will probably be tricky, but try to evaluate the situation and respond to your partner calmly. Reassure them that you want to work on the situation with them. If, however, you are considering ending the relationship, this might be the time to be open about that. I hope this part goes for people when I'm married yet. All right? Only just attack. All right? Good. Now tell nobody to end the relationship. No marriage. Number 3, show extra affection. That's number 3. So a partner who is jealous need extra affection because at that them are compete for in the first place. So demonstrate extra love during this sensitive time by giving your partner more physical affection, even though their jealous behavior might not seem rational to you. It's important that you are as supportive as possible. Number 4, create healthy boundaries. So sit down with them. No, but this is with the partner now. So you're going to sit down with the partner and you're going to set healthy and appropriate boundaries. So it's one thing now. Me I gonna say, honey, all right, you're jealous, honey. You don't like when me a text by messenger. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a compromise. I'm going to not use my
You remember the word, the compromise?
my messenger, something like that, right? So you're having that set of discussion. And look at Lady P giving us some. Listen without interruption. Right, good. Next thing, all right? Be patient and revisit the issue. So jealousy is an issue that will take time and effort, right? So at times it will feel time consuming and emotionally draining. Anybody have a jealous partner? Yeah. But it is important that you continue to be supportive, work to build trust, and make it clear that you are committed to work on the problem together. All right? Very, 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 very important that we work on this. All right? Good. So we're nicely wrapping up. We're nice. Right when you alone go. Oh yeah, Kimon. All right, yeah, right. So Kimon, you can reach out to us. Yeah, Messenger, the Robdons Facebook. Yeah. All right, guys. Any questions? I think we have shared a whole heap. I hope it makes sense. We have shared what we think and what we think I go work for you. I think most importantly, I want to say this evening that you guys, persons in a marriage or persons who are thinking about marriage, always remember that you're a team. What affects one partner affects the whole marriage. And so we're not trying to spite each other. Me used to like spite my wife all it until I learn and realize that me also going to get affected. So I started to want to fix the issues. So like I said, I see problems in a marriage as a tire, a puncture. I don't wait until it flat out and start rim. I want to get help immediately so I can restore it back to where it was. That is very much important. All right. All right, guys. Any questions before we wrap up? And, all right. All right. Wanna tell us how we go on. Jesus, we try. How did we go on? How did we go on? What the teacher them down? No mark we at attend them, man. Jesus. Sure. How we go on? All right. Listen with the interruption group consent. Yeah. Oh yeah. Lady P did mention neuroscience as one of the study. Yeah. Wanna go on good. Stay away. And peace and good. All right, go on good. All right, thank you. So that means we can do it for next evening. Those of you who have not yet liked the video, man, or subscribed to the channel, we can beg on if you do it now. So we're gonna get a little like, man. Sure, man. Make people know say we are going with good something. We are tries to encourage proper and lovely, wonderful weddings over on this side. So, yeah, please remember to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. I am putting my link in the chat for all who never subscribe yet. Remember to subscribe. All right. I'm gonna go. All right, I'm get 9 out of 10. Thank you. All right, teacher. I'm gonna get 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10. All right, teachers. Well done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're gonna pop it. This evening was nice talking with everyone. We're definitely going to be back here next week, Sunday, same time, 4 o'clock.
And the interactions in
Jamaica.
the comments really help.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 p.m. EST. And we talk about issues in marriage. So come back and let us know.
And if there's something you'd want us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, if you have something where you want to try and address. We're no gurus, no experts. We just try. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hold hand as we believe that as we hold on, we're also holding on in marriage. My wife is going to do us the honor of praying as we get ready to close. Yeah, after me do all of them talking, then your time, my girl. On to you. Sure.
Wow, God, we thank you for this space where we can come, we can, have these conversations. We thank you for the discussion tonight on jealousy. Some persons may be facing this in their relationship, and this may be of, good help to them. I pray, God, that, the points shared, that even the experience, that absolutely everything, God, will be of value to their lives, that, God, a reflection may take place, and where help is needed, that it will be sought, and that the issues now being experienced, they'll grow from it, they'll become stronger, and they'll develop those, that bond, that appreciation, the trust, where they won't feel so insecure around each other. I pray, God, where there's a lack of transparency, that even now they'll make the steps to correcting such, and really, being intentional about having their marriage in a state where it will work. Lord, I pray that as there is no concept of Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, that those who would have come in and would have been disappointed because what they thought isn't so, with the challenges that arise, that God, they'll really take time to sit together, that they'll be able to develop that understanding where the communication becomes easy as they listen actively and be empathetic, understanding as they address the situation. I pray, God, that they'll really be able to see the problems, what is stirring the jealousy, the insecurities, and deal with those as to help the relationship going forward. For those who are not married yet, but they are listening week after week after coming out and discussing these things, I pray, God, that their eyes will be open to look deep in that which to expect, that which to look forward to advance in, and that they too too will come back one day to testify of how their marriages are being impacted from these sessions. Be with us, God. We're not experts, but we know, God, that there is so much that you would have allowed us to experience, and there's so much more that can be added. And so we pray for the wisdom going forward for those persons who will come on and continue to join. We just ask that, Father, you'll allow it to be well, and that God will build these relationships as you guide us. Have your way in our lives as we go through, God, the challenges, being victors. Amen and amen.
Amen. Jesus. Hallelujah. Praise God.
You say pray along?
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, me no make my wife bless food people. I will pray too long. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back here next week, Sunday, when we come again. And what a reason on another important topic as it relates to marriage. All right. With that said, we want to wish for you a productive rest of the night and ask that you'll take care of yourself until we meet again. Take care. Blessings. I begin to